connection is so important to women, and more important today than ever before, because women are more independent, and independent is detachment. I got to do it myself. I'm not depending on anybody else. I'm doing it myself. That's independence. And that's a great thing. Women on their male side. So their need for connection is even greater than it's ever been. That's why there were, back when I wrote Men Are From Mars, at least, there were all these books on communication, and women were saying, men don't listen. And, one of the ideas of Men Are From Mars was, men, just stop talking. That's what it means. When women say, listen, stop talking, ask questions, help me understand that better. Tell me more, what else? And try to walk in her shoes, so to speak. That's what's going to solve the problem, because the problem today, you can boil it all down, and it is simplistic, and this life is more complicated, but you have to have a simple approach if you're going to do anything about it. Women need men today to help women come back to their female side. Yes. Men require women to teach us how to do that in a way that doesn't sound like we're stupid or it doesn't sound like you're controlling us. I'm teaching that whole idea that men and women are different. It was so politically incorrect. And many people were loving it. But even back then, there was a little bit of this ridiculous cancel culture. People would come in signs and disrupt my talks. It would just be unhappy women and sometimes unhappy men coming and blaming me for their problems. So these people would be disruptive. And I thought, how can I make this really playful and light? How can there's something missing here. There's something missing, because I was just talking about men and women being different. And I happened to be taking a course in astrology at the time, where we were in astrology, you have to learn the properties of the different planets. And my wife, Bonnie, she was Venus and I was Mars. It just felt right. And, Mars is the masculine planet and Venus is the feminine planet. So we were doing that, and it didn't strike me at that point. But then the next day I was giving a talk, and I just seen that movie E.T. Everybody remembers back in 1984, 83, the movie E.T. So I wanted to make a point to the women in the audience. I said, now women, just imagine your husband's E.T. Now my point was that in E.T., you get this little person from another planet. He likes chocolate, and she's telling her kids, don't give him chocolate. That's not good. But for him on his planet, that's what's good. And so you have to understand what might be good for you is not necessarily good for him. It's a complicated idea. But I started out by just saying, so women, just imagine your husband's ET. And then they all started laughing completely. It was like, and then some woman in the audience, it sounded like she was drunk. She said, well, where's my husband from? And I said, Mars, of course. And everybody laughed and laughed and laughed. And I got chills on the hair stood up on my arm. And I said, thank you, God. This is it. Men are from Mars. That's the way I can start teaching this idea. So it was a way to lighten the subject. But the subject of gender differences was, a couple of years I've been teaching it. And it was very, very helpful as a therapist to explain to women how they misunderstand him, and explain to men how you're misunderstanding what your wife is really saying here. And as a translator from two different planets, I could help couples so quickly and so helpful. And it was so helpful to them. It doesn't solve all problems, but it does improve the communication so that you can together solve your own unique problems.